when a family first parent calls us up and they start talking to us, or they come in the office and they're having issues, we ask them a series of questions about their children. We ask them a series of questions about their home. Now, all of us would like to think we're perfect parents, but we're not. I don't know of any perfect parent. And parents are under tremendous pressure to overcome those outside influences on their kids. And those are becoming so strong, it's becoming more and more difficult. So we look at the child, we look at the family, we look at the dynamics. How many hours a day is a child on video games or computer that they're sedentary, they're not active? The child's depressed, are they active at all? Mom's depressed, is she active at all? What is your diet? What are you drinking instead of water? How much are you drinking of it? Do you have friends? What kind of friends? Are they the friends that look out for you and say, hey, don't be doing this, it's not a good thing? Or are they the friends where everybody's just going to do the same? Oh, let's go get stoned. I mean, what is the modeling to parents? And we see a lot of 20-something parents where their modeling are now reality shows. And what are their young children seeing? If I had my druthers, and this does not make me popular, before anybody was given medicine, we would go through this entire list and make sure that they're properly nourished, that they're in an environment that is as nurturing as possible, that whatever influences them is positive and not negative, that they have interests. All of these people come, and so many of them have been beaten up by, oh, I'm not a very good parent, so-and-so told me this, or these poor kids that have had issues, oh, I'm a mess up in school, I take the short bus to school. It's like, no, every one of them has strengths, and it's up to us to find those strengths and help them identify their strengths, and then reinforce it. Well, you know what? Your child's at this age where sleep is so important, and they're only getting 6 hours sleep. You got to slowly get them into a routine where they go to bed earlier. And instead of watching TV or playing a video game before they go to sleep, have some soothing music, read a story, chat at the bedside, give them a goodnight kiss, establish this ritual. Parents are amazed that just hydration, water, not soda, and sleep make a huge difference in their kids. That alone. Your kid is hyperactive. We hear that all the time because you're not supposed to be fidgeting. And I can identify with that. So what about taking a run with your kid in the park before school? Help them blow off that morning energy. Or they come home and they're grumpy. Same thing. Take a walk. But before we go to more complex and invasive type of things, because medicine, there's always a side effect. Let's try this more natural step first. Now, we work with a lot of professionals, and we work under a medical model. So a medical model is that, okay, here's what's wrong, and here's what can help it. We advocate to the professionals, please, can we do less invasive? We don't need to pathologize everything. An example, a child is removed from their family for whatever reason. That child is afraid, that child is angry, that child is placed in a place that they don't know. And depending on the age of the child, especially the boys, they'd rather be bad than scared. They'd rather be bad than stupid. And so they are bad. They're angry. They're this, they're that. First thing we do is, oh, this child has an anger problem because of the trauma of this or that. What about the trauma of just being removed from a home? It may not have been an ideal home, but there's trauma associated with that. So we begin to pathologize this kid. Now the kid won't take the medicine because they don't think they need medicine. Oh, well, now they're oppositional. So now we have an angry oppositional child. So now maybe we give him this for the angry, we give him this for the opposition. And one of the things we've learned in the last 10 years is, hey, let's go shoot some hoops. Let's go run around the court for a bit. Let's go do this or that. Let's look at the whole person. Maybe there's some spiritual healing that could happen. Maybe reading. I don't know. Every person is different. And we find those strengths. We find their interests. We try to help them work with it as best as we can. Not the way I would, but the way they would. And then if they need additional help from there, yes, let's get them that help. Let's link them to resources, and then we help them interpret those resources. Someone can say to you, well, I want you to go home and do A, B, and C. Someone once told me, you overwhelm your child. I think, what do you mean I overwhelm my kid? I asked him to take out the trash, clean up his room, to do this or that. I don't understand that. Well, another parent said, no, that's not what they meant. You tell your kid to do that. You tell your kid, okay, take out the trash. And on your way back, stop in the garage, pick up a couple bags, bring them in, then go into the backyard, pack up some of your toys, then take. That's where I overwhelm my kid. And that's what that person was telling me. But that's not what I heard. So this other parent peer was able to say to me, MaryEllen, do it one at a time. One thing at a time, and don't overwhelm your kid. Work like a charm. He wasn't frustrated when I gave him chores to do. We did a chart, just one thing at a time. We didn't even have to have any discussions about it. So that's what I mean by kind of interpreting things and keeping and breaking them down to simple components. And I think that's one of our values, having been there, done that, to reframe that to other families.